Hello, my name is Steve Gerstner, and I am the Program Director of the Billings Clinic Internal Medicine Residency. It is my pleasure to introduce you to our program. Billings Clinic is an academic community medical center that provides tertiary care to a wide-ranging area encompassing Montana, Wyoming, and western North and South Dakota. Patients come to our facility for primary internal medicine care, subspecialty care, and critical care not available elsewhere in the region. The spectrum of illness that we care for rivals that which is seen in any university or large metropolitan hospitals. Billings Clinic has been involved in education since 1974, when we began a relationship with the University of Washington School of Medicine, serving as an internal medicine clerkship site for third-year medical students since that time. Building on that experience, we began our internal medicine residency with the goal of training physicians who are capable of practicing as general internists or hospitalists in both rural and urban settings, or to be strong candidates for fellowships. Our program has an emphasis of training in the ambulatory clinic that is beyond most programs and is a point of pride. At the same time, we have a very robust inpatient and critical care experience, which is intended to prepare graduates to practice in settings where they may not have subspecialty support. We are a program of 28 residents, and the size of our program is a strength, lending very close relationships between faculty and residents and amongst the residents themselves. Graduates from our program have gone on to general practices, hospitalist programs, academic teaching positions within our residency, and over 1 in 5 have entered fellowships where we have a 100% match rate. Having said all that, our biggest strength is the quality of our residents, and please hear what they say about our program and their experiences in our area.
What really drew me to the program here at Billings Clinic was the way that the residents treated each other. I will never forget during the social sessions for interview day how the residents joked with each other. They seemed like true friends. And that's something that really has been a key attribute of the program for me. Now in my third year here, I can truly say that my co-residents are some of the best friends I've ever had. We support each other through everything. We treat each other well. I feel like the overall educational experience that I've had here at the clinic has been very well-rounded. We get exposure to a lot of different pathologies, particularly on the inpatient setting. As a tertiary referral center, we get all of the cool cases from a big radius. I feel really, really well prepared moving forward in my career to take care of sick patients in a hospital setting, sometimes maybe without all of the support you would have at a really, really big center.
I chose this program because I think that when I was looking at programs is, there's always like the side of medicine that's like what you learn in school and it's like the science of medicine. But I think that there's this huge part of medicine that often gets kind of pushed to the wayside, and that's like the human aspect of it. And I think that when I was going through the interview trails, I was looking for programs that specifically kind of found a blend between like the art, the science, and the human of medicine. And I think that here at Billings Clinic it was just like the perfect blend of like great people, great medicine, like great environment.
Here at Billings Clinic, we get excellent training in critical care medicine as part of the internal medicine residency program. I think it's really one of the strengths of the program. One of the good things about training here at Billings Clinic is that we don't have a fellowship program here for critical care, and so you're not competing with critical care fellows to perform procedures and things like that. So we really get excellent procedural training as part of our critical care experience here. You will get very proficient at putting central lines in, trialysis catheters, arterial lines. If you're interested in doing intubations, that is definitely something that you'll get a lot of experience in if you show an interest in that area. All the attendings in the ICU are excellent teachers, and they spend a lot of time teaching, and we'll have our own kind of didactic sessions during the ICU experience.
What drew me to the program here at Billings Clinic is my interest in rural internal medicine. I spent a great portion of my third year of medical school at smaller community and rural hospitals. I became interested in the practice of rural medicine. This program is unique as it offers rotations in rural Montana in second and third years.
I interviewed this year was weird. It was on Zoom, so it was all virtual. And I just felt like the interview went fantastic. So Dr. Gerstner is just one of those people that you can tell how much he loves medicine, even on a computer screen. That stood out to me because it was very different than other programs I interviewed at. The whole interview process went fantastic. And then I was thinking maybe I was swayed because it was on Zoom I never was able to come here in person, and so I called the chief resident, and she was fantastic and answered all the questions. She reassured me that it really was what I was looking for. So size of the program was important, so wanted something not terribly small, but also not too big to where you're kind of lost in the group. So a strong mentorship program was really important to me. They have that here, and it has played out already in the first couple months. And other things I was looking for was just the ability to really, get specific mentorship when it comes to what you want to do career-wise. So is it more inpatient or outpatient or a mix of both? They also do that here. The reputation of the program is also something unlike what I've seen before. So if you go to the grocery store here and you tell someone you work at Billings Clinic, the first thing that they say is just, that's so amazing, I love Billings Clinic. They're an instant fan, instant fast friend. That's unique to this community. You don't see that everywhere. Sometimes, you get the sideways like, oh, you work there, but no, here everyone loves Billings Clinic.
I came to Billings Clinic for a lot of reasons. I felt like people knew each other. I felt like people really got to sit across from their co-residents every day and knew most things about them. There was never stories of people going their entire 3 years without getting to know a lot of their classmates.
So research here at Billings Clinic, we're pretty lucky we have the opportunity to participate in a grant competition when you're an intern here. So all the categorical residents basically get to work with a mentor, come up with a project design, and then basically present it to a panel of judges who ultimately get to choose up to two projects, basically where they fund it. So I think it's like $10,000 that they get to use towards their research project, which is pretty cool.
My experience on the rural rotation was great. I got to work with 3 different physicians up there, 2 internal medicine docs and a family practice doctor. I got to see a wide variety of things. I was in clinic every day of the week, and then did some hospital as well. They do a true dualist system where you see the hospital patients before you start clinic, and then you're kind of admitting the patients for whoever you're working with through the day. And then I did a weekend on call, so really got to kind of run the hospital for the weekend, which was a neat experience. Got to see a bunch of different things in clinic. They've got just, I think, more time sometimes with patients. So I got to do some more joint injections up there, which was really fun. I'm actually planning on becoming a rural primary care physician after graduation down in Wyoming. So that was nice to get some more procedure opportunities like that as well, just to kind of see how an attending clinic runs rather than a resident clinic.
I am originally from Norway. I came out to Montana because I was very interested in the Western ranching and horseback riding culture. And I ended up loving it so much out here that I have now relocated my life to rural Montana. So my goal as a physician is to work in these rural areas of Montana, either as a primary care provider or as a hospitalist. And Billings Clinic, this program is perfect for me because it has a strong outpatient curriculum as well as inpatient curriculum. So I feel like I will have the tools that I need to be a physician in rural Montana.
I've got a few hobbies, but one that has been of a particular amount of fun since moving to Montana has been rock climbing. So there's a very good rock gym here in Billings called Steep World. And then the area surrounding Billings is just rife with opportunities for outdoor climbing.
I would say that, Billings is a place with a pretty lively cultural scene. Certainly before the time of COVID, we had a lot of live music opportunities, quite a few local music venues that were near downtown. Also used to do downtown events where they would bring music in and close down the streets and bring in vendors and things like that. I also really enjoy the food and the brewery scene here. Billings is a big enough city to have a lot of the different varieties of culinary cuisines, but it's also small enough that you're never waiting in line for a table, and you can kind of easily go out and get a meal with family and friends without having to plan too far ahead.
There's a lot to do with our free time, so I personally like the outdoors. I think that's one of the biggest perks of being in Montana is we have the mountains about 30 minutes away, and then we also have several national parks close by. So Yellowstone's about 2.5 hours away. Glacier National Park is about 5.5, 6 hours, but I've gotten to both a few times already, and camping is very accessible, even if it's just a quick weekend getaway.
In the wintertime, I really like to go snowboarding. My husband and I have a dog, so we really like to play with our dog, take her for walks. There's lots of great hiking opportunities.
There's like so much to do out here. I came from New York City, and so, you know, there's obviously so much to do there, but here it's so much different, and it's like every weekend, like last weekend, we went, me and one of my friends, as we drove out of the city over to Bozeman. Another weekend, me and my friends, we went up to like a big hike that's over in like the Beartooth Highway. There's endless things to do.